Hi guys, this is Carol. Welcome back to my channel. And if you haven't done so just yet, please like and subscribe and please share with a friend. Hi guys, this is Carol. I'm back with another fabulous video. I'm already pre-prepped and at this point I'm applying the triple bond X and I'm actually going to do 2 applications of this even though you only see one. If you follow me, you know I do that because this product does not come with a dehydrator and a primer. And usually I use a dehydrator and a primer. And in the case that I don't have one, I do it twice. All right, and of course, this product is by Not Polish. I will link in the description box all the products I use on today's production. And I hope you enjoy this video and give their products a try. So I just applied this to all 10 fingernails, and like I said, I do it twice, but you're only going to see it once on this video. And here I'm playing origami with my napkin, and I am going to do my pre-lay with some Entourage Nail Gallery Clair. And for those of you who follow me, you know whenever I am using glitter, I always use a layer of Clair so the glitter doesn't stick to my nails. And we are also utilizing Entourage Nail Gallery monomer here. If you expand, you would see my brush. I booped the brush and all the bubbles that came out of the brush. So it's a step that some people miss, but I like to boop my brush. Okay, so now we are, like I said, this is Leprechaun season for me. So in my salon and for my promotion for this part of the year, I become the world's tallest leprechaun. And it's just a fun thing for me to do. I like to do it. It helps me make money in my salon. It helps me promote myself. And so we are doing some St. Patrick's Day nails today. So as you can see, I'm dipping my brush in the monomer, wipe it off on the side to remove excess liquid, and I pick up a small bead and I am applying it to the entire surface of my natural nail. In some cases, I will pull it forward onto the tip itself, but it's not necessary. This part here, if you've ever applied glitter to your nails and you try to soak it off, the glitter actually could be stuck to your nail and you literally have to pry it off. And I hate being that rough with my nails. So I usually put down a layer of Clair. Also, if I'm using pigmented powder, I do not want the powder to stain my nail. And so therefore, I put a Clair layer down. Now, these two nails, of the middle finger and the ring finger, usually I will soak my nails off, but on this last go round, I was supposed to be doing a collab with someone and we had to postpone the date of the collab. And so I was pressed for time to remove my nails and I removed them a little bit on the harsh side. So the tip on the ring finger and the middle finger, if you expand, you might see a little bit of tenderness on those nails. Guys, I'm here to tell you, don't do it. Don't do what I do, okay? So I couldn't wait to put some tips back on there because they were a little bit tender to the touch. So I needed to, it's almost like if you break your hand, you need to put a brace on it, a cast on it. So here it is. I am, like I said, applying a thin layer of Clair just to protect my nail. It does a couple of things. It protects the integrity of my prep work. It protects my nails from the glitter as well as the staining from pigmented powder. On the right hand, there's not much to see here. We're doing this absolutely the same thing we did on the left hand. So I took the liberty of going ahead and speed up this video. The video, as long as it is, I didn't want to prolong the inevitable by going through this all the way. That powder that we're using is not polished, and it is not polished there's some warm glow, warm glow. I'm going to link all of this in the description box. Warm Glow by Nut Polish. And here I am also utilizing Mary Jane. Now, I will tell you guys something about this Mary Jane. I have the Mary Jane powder because I do, like I said, my St. Patrick's Day nails. I did not appreciate the Mary Jane until I put the clear layer on the top, the clear top coat. It was beautiful, and I look forward to using that again. It doesn't really stick to the nail like you definitely have to encapsulate it, is what I should say. But it was a beautiful green with glitters in it, absolutely gorgeous. And that's Mary Jane by Nut Polish. So I'm taking a small bead. I dip my brush in the monomer, squeeze the excess liquid off, and I take a clear bead and I'm encapsulating that, because if you don't encapsulate the Mary Jane, it is possible to have accidental transfer. Now, if that's what you're going for, that's fine. But that's not the look I was going for on this go round. And so I'm encapsulating it here so it doesn't have accidental transfer. And while you're going along, I am also shaping the nails so that I have less file work in the end. I started off with coffin shape here, guys, and then I changed my mind somewhere along. So you will see a shape change by the time the video is through. I feel like I should say that you get the best shape if you pre-shape to what you're going to do prior to doing them, putting them down. So in the beginning, I wanted to do coffin, and then Carol, you know, you a stiletto kind of girl. I am going to be a leprechaun for between now until St. Patrick's Day itself. So I felt like the stilettos would have been the better shape for my costume. Right here, I'm choosing to put some stars, some silver stars. I wish I had gold ones because, you know, the leprechaun is always going after his gold. I didn't have any gold ones, so I was not going to put off creating a set because I didn't have gold stars. So I placed them. At this point, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to be filing these into shape of a stiletto. So I am sort of like tucking the silver stars in so that when I reshape, I don't file the tip of the stars off. That I can still get the stiletto and have the stars at the same time. I'm putting a reverse bead to the front, and I'm going to pull this backwards because I am actually building up the thickness of the front of the nail. And yeah, I'm building the thickness up of the front of the nail. So I wanted to talk about something. When I do my videos, I go back and I look at them to make sure that I'm not missing anything or there is something I should be highlighting to my viewers. And one of the things I want to say is when you're encapsulating and when you're doing a plain set, the application is definitely different. And by that, I mean, if I'm doing a set that has no encapsulation, I can put the bead down in the middle, pull it forward, put a second bead in the apex area, pull that forward, and then I can put a third bead in the cuticle area, pull that forward. Maybe I put a reverse bead. When you're encapsulating, the nail takes different shapes at different times. So right here, I'm going to do an ombre. And so I did put the Mary Jane down where the natural nail and the tip enhancement meet. And I am putting in a cuticle bead now. But because there is other stuff that I encapsulated in the nail, you have to actually watch your shaping and make sure that you're maintaining the where you're going to put the beads down so that you do create that shape of a nail, and you don't have to do too much work to shape it into the shape of a nail. You'll get that later. But yeah, so we're still using the 3-bead method, but you have to be very careful now where you put in those beads and how you put in your encapsulation down, because if you build it up too high in the beginning, and then you have to go back and encapsulate, you might have a ginormous, super thick, chunky nail. So when you put the encapsulation part, then you want to put that down thin enough that when you go back and encapsulate it, it still looks like a nail and it doesn't look like a claw. Yeah, that's what I want to say. Right? So also, I must say I had no clue. Usually, I will design the nail prior to putting it down. This time, because I am making the Leprechaun's lair at the salon, it was just too complicated for me to, I'm just one person guy, to set up the salon and to prep to get in costume and stuff. So it just took a little bit out of me. So I had to go in like truly freestyling, nothing in my mind what it is I'm doing. So you might see me changing powders and stuff. For instance, that nail was put down with Warm Glow, but then I'm going to use something else for the other nails because I just wasn't sure. And after the fact, I was like, I should have just done all of them with Warm Glow. I'm putting a reverse bead here, and I am pulling that bead backward because now I need the nail to rise and fall in all of the appropriate places. So thinner to the back, rise in the apex area, and descend to the front. Right? So that's what I was talking about when you do an encapsulation. You got to keep in mind that you have to put stuff on you may have to put the powder down, put some encapsulation, and then put some clear over it. And you just want to keep in mind how each one of those processes is going to be and how much powder you put in down so you don't make them too thick, make them look like eagle talons. And guys, this powder that I'm using, you would not be able to find it in a store. This was a powder collection that I mixed specifically for this set that I'm doing. So yeah, that is a combination of not leprechauns. What do you call those things? Shamrocks and glitter and circles and stuff like that that I mixed together specifically for this set. And I'm putting some broken glass in there. I mean, it's just a beautiful powder that I mixed specifically for this. And of course, anyone who comes into the shop whose nails I'm doing for St. Patrick's is so that my work could be unique from somebody else's. That's all. And I'm carefully placing them because at this point I know I'm going to file these nails into a stiletto. And so I got to make sure that where I put them, the big pieces that I want to show is visible. Also, if you happen to be someone who takes clients, sometimes the clients do that. They change their mind after they tell you, oh, I want a coffin. And then halfway through, it's like, hey, you know what? Do you mind filing the nails into a stiletto instead? Hey, I'll do anything you pay me to do. So I would let them know, sure, I can do that for X amount of whatever. All right, so I still believe you get the best shape if you pre-shape it the way you want to, but if someone changes their mind, you better believe it can be done. And I'm putting a little bit of clear bead with a nail tip on the enhancement meat and where I started the encapsulation, and I am just sealing that down so I don't have accidental transfer. When I get to the right hand on my middle finger, we did have some accidental transfer, and when I get to that point, I will highlight some what I mean by accidental transfer and the reason why it can happen. Even though I always end up liking it, but sometimes your guests might not want that. So I will show you what I'm talking about and how to prevent it. Here it is. We going in with I want to say that was, I'm gonna link it in the description box. I can't remember what it is, but it's one of the nude colors. And on the opposite hand, I end up using Nude Panther on the entire hand. But like I said, I was just so not prepared to do this set that I was just experimenting as I go along with which color I actually wanted. I am probably going to change this nail set somewhere between now and actual St. Patrick's Day. And I believe I'm going to use Second Nude for that one. And I'm putting in a bead, making sure that my apex rises and falls exactly where I want it, as well as I'm blending the weight line between the encapsulation and the nude powder. Also, when we get to the right hand in this video will be sped up every time I go over there. So all your detail is on the left hand. Smoothing it out now so that I have less smooth work to do in the hand filing and the e-filing stages. Beautiful. Right in the middle there where I just put that bead down, sometimes you get a dip in the nail where it's not, the rise and fall has a really deep fall in the middle. So if you turn your nail to the side, you will see if the nail has enough acrylic all the way through. You definitely want to fill that in. I'm inspecting them to see if I'm satisfied with where I'm going with this. And like I said to you guys before, I had no clue. I decided to try some powder that it was a little bit too dark green, and so we abandoned that process. Like, yeah, no, it's almost look, the green was almost black. So, yep, try that. Nope, it's not going to work. I promise you guys, I was just playing with the whole process of what am I going to do with these nails. Of course, I left this part of the video in simply because sometimes we don't know. And I don't want my viewers to think that we always know. Sometimes we just don't. So I decided to go with a little bit of fine glitter. And this is just straight glitter, so I'm going to need a pinch of acrylic to help me pick it up as well as to distribute it and keep it sitting exactly where I want to on the nails. And on the index finger, I really wanted it to just be not too heavily glittered. I believe I'm going to put some stars in there. Yep. And then we're going to fill the back in with some nude as well. You'll put a little bit of fractured glass in there. And we're going to encapsulate that so as to eliminate any accidental transfer. So if you don't put the glitter down, the clear down over the glitter, you can actually experience accidental transfer. Now, accidental transfer by itself does not mean it's a bad thing. When I'm doing it on myself, I really don't care, but a guest might not appreciate it if that's not what they wanted. But whenever I get it, I'm like, oh wow, I couldn't accidentally transfer that if I wanted to. Or I couldn't intentionally transfer it like that if I wanted to. It would have to be on accident. So I guess I'm saying all of that to say this. It's not a big deal, guys. As long as it look good, go with it. So I did a reverse bead, fill up the thickness in the front right here, and then I'm going to go back and fill in with the nude to the back. I pick up a bead and then I'm going to actually put it in the apex and what I would call my blend area. So the apex, definitely we're using this bead for the purpose of apex, but we also want to blend the tip of the nail where we have the encapsulation, blend it in nicely. So this bead is performing two jobs. It's building the apex as well as blending. Then I'm going to put a cuticle bead. What am I doing? Yeah, so we're going for a cuticle bead. And we're pulling it from the sides and then the middle. And I'm putting a clear bead to join both the front and the back and make sure that we have a nice transition, that the nail rises and falls in all of the appropriate places. And like I've said before in other videos, I do a hybrid when I'm applying acrylic to myself. Some people can just keep their hands facing forward as if they were a client presenting their hands. I have developed a hybrid where I come in from the side. Maybe other people uses that method as well. I don't know. But I get a bird's eye view from semi-client view as well as client view when I'm doing my own nails. So right now this will be considered client view. And when I put it to the side like this, it's semi-client view. And what it does is allow me to see the nail from the top and the sides where it matters the most. I'm holding on to that bead so it gets a little bit drier on the brush before I put it down so that I'm not brushing it off of the where I actually need it to be. Keep your brush clean. Wipe it off after every application, after you dipped it, and pick up a bead and brush it off in between as well. On this nail, I am going for nude altogether, and then towards the tip, I am going to be putting down some glitter. Oh, look how beautiful that developed on the brush. Very nice. If you can hold the powder for just a few seconds for it to solidify the way it just did on the brush, it is so much easier to pull the product forward. Keeping your side walls clean. If you can just hold the powder for a second before you put it down, let it start to do its thing on the brush. And towards the tip of the brush, even though this is a cover powder, I really wanted it to go down really thin so that I can actually semi-see the glitters when I put the glitter down through the front of the nail. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So I put on a cuticle bead. I push it close up to the cuticle without flooding. The liquid to powder is just perfect on this bead. Still leaving some translucency to the front simply because I'm spreading the product out so thin to the front. Make sure you get enough product in all the right places. And now I'm going for some clear and so for some glitter, which is off screen right now, but you've seen the glitter before. And I'm just going to spread it out sort of like in a triangular. That was my intention anyways. Like a sash, make it look like a sash on the nails. And as you guys know, I like to spread it out so you can see all the elements of what's in the glitter powder. So play with it a little bit at this point if you like that. If you like it thicker, by all means put it down that way. But I actually want to see what's in the powder or in the glitter. Pick up a little bit more and fill it in. So this powder has some shamrocks in there, some really fine glitter, some bigger, medium size glitter in there, and then they also have some fractured glass in there. It's beautiful. And now I am going to encapsulate it with some clear as to prevent accidental transfer. If I don't do the accidental transfer thing, it will accidentally transfer. So I put the clear down and roll it from the top over the glitters so that the brush is not contacting it to create that accidental transfer. And I'm encapsulating from the back all the way forward. I'm putting a reverse bead to the tip of the nail, and I'm going to pull that backwards because I really want the thickness of the nail to be built up and has a seamless transition from the front to the back. And then I'm going to go in and make sure to police up the side walls, no spillage, and then smooth over the entire nail. Filling in my little sinkhole right there. I'm still here, guys. So this video is going to run about hour 33 by the time we have the intro and the outro. I absolutely had fun making this video for you guys. I was totally surprised by the end results. They came out really pretty for not knowing what it is I was going to do. So I hope you guys hang in there, get yourself a nice cold drink, put your legs up and relax. So satisfying to watch. Right here, I'm just cleaning out the excess powder from the sides and on the bottom. you know, just that cut off at the end, and make sure I don't leave any excess on the bottom. Had a little pesky piece that just would not release. So that's what I'm struggling with right here, guys. Alrighty. On to the pinky. So I'm going to do the pinky pretty much like I did the thumb. Semi-full nude nail from back to the front. And then I'm also going to put the glitter on a diagonal. So once the tip. I'm still trying to figure out if in the end I should put some, maybe like a shamrock or something on the top, but up until the time I'm doing this voiceover, I'm still trying to figure out if I'm finished or do I want to add more elements to this nail. Alrighty, everybody. So, it's been a while since I put a video out, and like I said, it's not because I'm not on a job anymore. It's simply because I'm doing a lot. It's January is over, we into February, and I have to kick into high gear, not just on YouTube, but in the shop to make sure that not only is my business profitable, but I am meeting all my obligations on every front. If you're a business person, you know what I mean. I have obligations, guys. All right, so right here, I'm just making sure that I have good coverage on the entire nail. If you have any gaps, make sure you fill those in. Inspect the nails from every angle. And here we come in with some glitter on a diagonal. Even though I think I should have done a cut crease and put some, on the next one I will. I clean my brush off, dip it in the monomer, pick up a clear, and we are rolling this clear over the encapsulation as to keep them exactly where I put them. So satisfying to watch. And then I go in from the back and encapsulate the entire nail, and making sure that if I lost the shape while I was doing the encapsulation and stuff like that, that I get a second chance to keep the nail policed up and in shape with the clear application on the top. I'm actually loving the care that I'm taking to make this nail shape like a nail, the right thickness, front to back, and My pinky is significantly smaller than the nail itself, is significantly smaller than the rest of my nails. And so I have to kind of do a little cosmetics on my pinky to make it equal to the rest of my fingers. Very nice. And all we have to do now is répéter on the opposite hand. And at this point, I am choosing to do the right hand on camera and not the left hand. So I'm going to finish this set with just the left hand being done. And at some point, I'm going to come back with the right hand being done. Otherwise, this video would be 2 hours long. So I needed a little to re-up on my monomer here. And once again, we're using the Entourage Nail Gallery monomer. And yes, she plays nicely with other products. Guys, look at that green. I know it's slightly off camera, but that was a beautiful mix. And here it is. I'm going over to the opposite hand, and I am going to lay the acrylic on the side. And like I said to you guys, this hand is going to be done on the right side. It's going to be sped up. It's not as fast as I usually speed the video up, so you can still appreciate the application. But yeah, it's not going to be the normal speed. It's just going to go. Nothing to see here, just the opposite of what we did before, except for this time we actually using, I'll have to link it in the description box, the powder that's on the right hand. And I think right here on that finger, I just had some accidental transfer. If you expand the video, you'll see it. And that's because we did not encapsulate clear the tip of the nail. I should say in come the accidental transfer right on that. It's actually on the middle finger. Or is it on that one? It's on the middle finger. You see the accidental transfer right there. It actually looked appropriate, so I left it. I am making this voiceover, and all I can think about right now, guys, is food. I'm quite sure it's after lunchtime, but whatever. I can wait. Yeah, so here it is. I'm just playing with the materials that I'm putting in on the part of the nails that is being encapsulated, because not only do I want to appreciate it when I look at my hand, if you're paying for it, you want to appreciate it. You want other people who are admiring your nails to appreciate it as well. I will be sure to tell you guys what I'm using in the description box. And here my hand is crusty. I did wash them before I started this video. And of course, I am not going to put lotion on my hand because you don't want the oils there. But in the end, I will show you my hydration process. I do it on myself as well as my guests. So stay tuned for seeing the hydration process after you're done. Of course, you know, guys, when I go silent, it's for observation, so I'm still here. That powder is just so beautiful, very forgiving, and will allow you to apply. It's user-friendly, beginner-friendly. And of course, yes, I'm doing the pickup with the dominant hand and transferring to the non-dominant. Go in for some glitter. Put it in on the thumb and on the pinky in a diagonal. Wait a second, I just noticed that on this hand I did not use the Mary Jane. OMG. It doesn't matter, guys. You all know I do not do the matchy-matchy thing. Some people have to be matched on both the left and right hand. Doesn't matter to me. My fingers are all individuals. But like I said, I didn't appreciate the Mary Jane until after the fact. It's beautiful. And I did not mention that I was using my Not Polish brush in a size 12. So on the pinky on my right hand, I did struggle. This nail is going to look fugly, if you know what I mean. But by the time I'm finished hand filing and e-filing it, it looked like a nail. Alrighty. Moving right along here on this side. And once again, I said, you're not going to see the hand filing and e-filing on this hand. At some point, we're just going to come back and it's going to be done. All right, so it's time to clean up. Everybody, everywhere, clean up, clean up. Everybody do their share. So take a time to reorganize your table at this point in the game. In the meantime that you're doing that, your acrylic is actually hardening. So this is a great time to clean up and reconstitute your table and make sure you have enough space to do the finish or the reveal part of your work. We're not quite at reveal yet. Right now, we're still at, what am I doing here? I think I'm putting some clear over everything. Yeah. So put in some clear, but take the time to just clean up a little bit, that you're not confused in your work area, you're not confused in your brain. I'm just encapsulating everything. I need to find a green pair of sunglasses. If anybody know where I can find one, if you're shopping around and you see one, link, help a sister out and tell me where I can find a pair of green shades. And then to the end of this video, you will see a little show, like my reveal, and you're going to see me dressed as a leprechaun. That picture was taken a couple of years, 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, for St. Patrick's Day event. And so you will see what I mean when I said I need a pair of green shades. You will have an idea of what I'm looking for all you fashionistas out there. Help me out. Just encapsulation. I love the way the Entourage Nail Gallery, Claire, works. This year, I'm looking to expand my collection. I'm going to spend some time doing that so I can really do a good launch on my products. Police up my sidewall area. You don't want to have to clean that up after it dry. You really want to get that while it's still palatable. I'm putting a blend bead in, working it backwards, and then pulling it forward to make sure the tip is to the right thickness and in proportion to the rest of the nail. Still here, guys. I'm just enjoying this application along with you. Yeah, this sometimes, you have that one nail that is going to give you the run for your money while you're doing it. And that varies on me depending on what it is I'm doing. How long it's been since I did my last application. And as this video is coming out today, it might have been like 10, 12 days since I did the last video. So I hadn't done my nail in a quite some time. So one nail was going to give me a hard time. That's my pinky on the right hand. Got a little bit of spillage. I just was feeling my nail to make sure that there isn't any depressions on the nail. And anytime you see me go into the front of the nail like that right there, there's a little bit of a depression on that nail. I think I'm actually going to look for some 3D shamrocks to put on that nail. Drawing it was a disaster for me. Alrighty, guys, part of my favorite part of the nail is shaping. And right here, I am reshaping. And guys, I'm telling you, this reshape kicks my behind. If I was doing this on a guest and they changed their mind after they told me they wanted a coffin, you better believe I would be charging them for reshaping. You're going to see me pushing on the nails like I have to put some real elbow grease into it because it was a little bit, it's encapsulated, so it has a little bit on the thicker side. Not too bad, but reshaping at this point when the acrylic is dry is not the most fun thing you're going to find yourself doing. I'm reshaping, I'm looking at it. Now, had it been that I had decided on this shape from the beginning, we wouldn't have so much work to do. The video wouldn't be that long. So choose your battles wisely, guys, is what I'm trying to say. Still working the, what do you call it? I'm still working the shape right here. Nothing much to see. And while I'm doing this voiceover, if you hear little movements in the back, I'm still trying to figure out if there is something I can do to these nails to make them look prettier. Do I want to put some bling on it? I'm not sure. But if I do put some bling on it, I'll be sure to leave a picture towards the end what the final look turned out to be. I don't know if I want to put anything on it. Well, for one, you guys know I really don't put bling on my nail unless I'm on vacation because it really does pull my clients' hair. But I'm trying to figure out, do I want to take that chance or not? I don't know. I am actually coming out as a leprechaun, so I am going to err on the side of caution and not put some bling. I'm saying that, and at the same time, I'm still looking to see if there is anything I can put on it that I already have in my collection that is not going to make my clients have an uncomfortable experience. And I am leaving the hand filing part in so that you can see it. It's a whole process to doing it. And sometimes we eliminate too much of the nail process for beginners. And I always promise you guys that I would leave that beginner stuff in. So enjoy the reshaping process. So right here, I am using my e-file, and sometimes I like to use the arbor band or the sanding band when I'm working on myself. In this case, I really wanted my work to come out so detailed that I opted for using, I'm going to switch the bits out in a second. I opted for using something that will give me a sharper look. And I'm going underneath the nail. So as I pull it in on the sides, I am also going underneath the nail to make sure that I don't leave any debris underneath there. There we go. So we have a fine tornado bit, and that is going to allow me to get in close and more detailed. At this point, I stopped the e-file because you see that little yellow thing on the bottom? That is there for a purpose. So you want to push that down so that the e-file does not suck the fine dust back into the file. And if it's too close to the top, it was just rubbing against the top of the drill bit and making a really weird sound. So the purpose of that little yellow thing is to prevent dust from going into the e-file, the handpiece anyways. So expand right here, guys, and see how close and the reshaping of the nail, what does that look like? Right? When we go around the side walls and the cuticle, what exactly is it we're doing? You see, you can actually see the opening it's creating back there where you can see the natural nail, the natural nail, the cuticle, and the enhancement. That's what we're trying to do. Right here, I'm using pretty much the back of the e-file, the drill bit. I was taking down the surface of the nail, and here I'm using a tip to go around the cuticle. So I don't have to switch bits. So, that one bit will do it all. When I'm doing broader strokes, I'm using the back of the bit. And when I'm doing detail around the cuticles, I'm using the tip of the bit. And here I was using some pretty high speeds, between 18,000 RPMs and 23,000 RPMs. I'm comfortable when I'm working on myself to do stuff like that. You don't have to do it that high. I'm at home, I'm relaxing, I'm watching TV with my husband, I'm having a conversation with him, but I can, when I'm removing, like right there, I need the e-file to be rotating at a higher RPM. But know that when you're rotating at a higher RPM, you're going to create torque, and that is going to create heat. So don't keep the bit on the nail. You pick it up and, give the nail a chance to cool down while you're doing that so that you don't create a ring of fire. Guys, in as much as I'm doing this voiceover and I'm saying I'm not going to do anything else to the nails, I'm still looking for something to enhance the presentation. I may actually go to the beauty supply store and see if they have any 3D shamrocks. If not, I may have to make one myself, which I really am not trying to do right now. Woohoo! I just found some green bling, bling, bling. Do I want to put some of this on? Guys, I'm telling you, if I change my mind, I will update you at the end of the video with the finished look. Ooh, oh hell yeah. So I found some hearts, right? Because you're going to notice when we get to the part where we are doing the artwork, I tried to draw a shamrock, and guys, it wasn't pretty. But now I found some green hearts, which I will use those green hearts to save what my shamrock look like, and I think that will make the nail look, yeah. So on one nail, I'm gonna do that on the middle finger, and I will put those on so that I have a shamrock on my nail that actually look like for real, what it is I was trying to create. Yeah, so I will do that when I go downstairs, and I'll take a picture and put it on towards the end of the video. Told you I wasn't going to rest until I get this done right. So here I'm just e-filing, taking down bulk, going up underneath the nail with an e-file so I can clean out the bottom of the nail. I'm also pushing in on the side to help me with the reshaping of this particular nail, because as you know, and I stated earlier in the video, I started off wanting to do coffin, but I ended up stiletto. Okay. So the difference on this nails that I did that created a beautiful flawless finish by the time I was done is I spent a little bit more time hand filing these nails than I normally do when I'm working on myself. And the hand file can contact larger areas on a nail, and it just does something about the reshaping process of your nails. And if you have any hand filing skills at all, it will enhance what your nail job look like each and every single time. Right? It just goes over larger surfaces, and you can control what the shape look like. I almost couldn't go to sleep last night. They were so pretty. I just wanted to sit around and look at them. So I'm going up on one side and coming down on the other side, but you can literally see the shape, the nail taking a completely different shape. It will also allow you to see if there is any glossed over areas. If the hand file is missing areas on the nail, it will show a different color, right? It wouldn't be all grayed out like it is right here. I'm going across the top, making sure everything fits nicely where it's supposed to. Beautiful. And I'm going down the side of the nail to sort of like flatten out is that the right way to explain that? Flatten out the side so it's not rounded on the side. Right in here. Right there. So the file is flush with the nails, creating a flatter surface on the side. You'll get that in a second. And of course, I'm using the Not Polish rectangular hand file. I have quite a few of those in my collection now. I'm inspecting them to make sure that they look like sisters, like they belong together. They look like siblings. The tip on this one was just a little bit too long, so I filed the tip off, and then I'm reshaping the tip right here to put it back into stiletto form. So sometimes you will do a set and the nails don't match. What I'm looking for right here is that for symmetry, are they the same length? Do they look like it's the same set that I'm working on, right? that could be something that is a little bit trying in the beginning when you are a beginner trying to do nails. So I'm going over the top and shaping this from the top. Sometimes when your nails is not giving you the right look, try filing the top of the nail. You know, it's like you're looking at it, it's like, I'm doing everything correct. Why is it not looking like I want it to? Try filing the surface over the top and then blend that in, because it is part of the nail as well and part of the overall shape. That's what I'm talking about, over the top like that. And then I will go up and down on the nail again, on the sides. I go underneath. And that's what I'm talking about. On the sides, go up and down. Alrighty, so stop fooling around with that part of the nail job now. So I am going in with a fine arbor band, sanding band, however you call it, and I am going to buff over. So I buff my nails like 2 or 3 times. Some people might say, hey, Carol, that's too much buff work. It works for me. However you choose to do it, that's fine by me. So I'm going over the top, all those scratch marks from the E-file, the fine tornado bit, I'm eliminating that right here. So you can pinch and expand the video right here, and you can see where the scratch marks are going away. In the event that all of your scratch marks doesn't go away here, it's okay, guys. Relax. Take a breath. I am going to go in with a either my square, my rectangular buffer, or a hand file buffer, and I also have another buffer that I use. Whichever you have, that's what we're going to go in, and we're going to smooth the surface out some more. And these sanding bands that I'm using, I get the McCarts or the Medicools. I've used Medicools and I've used McCarts, or have I ever gotten them from anybody else? Or sometimes I get them at my local beauty supply store, nail supply store. Same thing, guys. Right now, the ones that are on there are Medicools. Oh, look how nice that is. You can see the scratch marks on the side, and that's what we're working on. If you care enough about your set or your guest set, you really want to make sure that those scratch marks goes away, because it will show up especially on the clear gel, right? So let's work on leveling up our buffing stage of our work. I am also going around the cuticles, making sure that there's nothing there that will cause lifting. And for those of you who are still scared of the cuticle and the sidewall area, have no fear, baby girls and boys. Using a sanding band can help you develop your confidence to work in tight areas. Nicely done, nicely done. Right, I'm still shaping with my sanding man. If you see something, do something. At the end of the day, the guest doesn't care what tools and stuff. They just want it to look good in the end. I'm going up underneath the bottom right here and making sure there's no debris left underneath there. So I'm working the shape from underneath all the way around, 360 degrees. Yeah. I'm feeling it. Now, I'm going in with a rectangular buffer. And the very first place I like to start, I don't always do it, but I like to start in the cuticle area. Make sure that the cuticle is buffed out as well, right? And I start with the rougher side. I go around the cuticles. I go underneath. Now, I have done stilettos before where they came out sharp as hell on the bottom. Take the time right here to go underneath the bottom and buff that sharpness out. And it happens to me most of the times when I have a brand new hand file and the hand file is coarse. I can get up under those nails and create some really sharp edges. It doesn't feel good against your skin, whether it's your skin, your lovers, your baby, or whomever. So you want to get up underneath there and smooth that sharpness out for everybody's comfort. I mean, that's the reason why we have nails, right? You want to enhance your hands, but you really don't want your hands to be a weapon on yourself or your loved ones. Your pets will hate it as well. Now I switch to the middle side of the buffer, the medium buff. And guys, I'm working these bad boys out. 360 on the top, on the sides, and on the bottom. I'm looking for the fine side now. And at this point, my nails are pretty damn smooth. However, whenever I'm doing encapsulations, after you finish the nail, 99% of the time, you're going to finish that nail with clear polish. I'm not taking any chances on my nail not being completely smooth. So, or leave any buff marks behind. This buffer here warms up the acrylic and smooth it over. It really does. Right? And so it is a personal use product. So if you choose to use this method of buffing on your guests, you may want to retail it to them and have them bring their buffer back to you each and every single time that they do their nails, so that you're not using this on everybody. It is a single use. And the reason why it's a single use is it cannot be sanitized. So I cannot disinfect this product and use it on somebody else. It will ruin the product. So I'm doing all over the surface, put my fingers together, rub the entire thing. And right now, guys, I wish this was feel-o-vision, because if you could have feel what that felt like, amazing. And of course, when I put the cuticle oil down at this point, I actually want to see the cuticle oil run around the entire nail to make sure that it is sealed properly. But also, I am doing this, I'm feeling the nail, make sure it's nice and smooth. If there's anything I need to fix at this point, the cuticle oil will show it. Now, I am showing you matted here. I did bring the matted down to my living room where I did my nails, and I actually thought it was what do you call it? Glosset. At this point, it looked really glossy until I cured it, and I'm like, oh shoot, it's matted and not glosset. No problem. I was able to do my artwork and then finish with clear over the matted, and it was just perfectly fine. So that I'm just saying all of that to say, pay attention when you pick up your the bottles. They look alike, but we are all capable of reading, and I obviously didn't read what I picked up. So guys, we're winding down here. I am going to do a little bit of artwork on it. Not a whole lot, but like I said, I found some green hearts that I'm going to make a shamrock on my nail with that, and I will reveal that to the end of the video. And so I hope you guys really enjoy this experience. Becoming the world's tallest leprechaun is always fun for me. I like to dress up. I like to be costumed, and it gives me an opportunity to do that. And the first part of starting to get into character is me getting the nails done. And guys, you can't tell me nothing when I'm in character mode. So I have this one box of gel paint, and it's obvious that I need other colors because I could not find a green that I really wanted, a different color green than here. So I'm actually going to do this on the left hand, but I did not repeat it on the right hand because it didn't really do much. It didn't really do much, and so I changed my mind altogether. You're going to see me struggle to draw the shamrocks if I left that in. Yeah, I'm struggling right here to draw the shamrock. But when I believe when I put the hearts over it, it will make more sense. And I promise I'll leave that in the end of the video. Not bad, but there was definitely something missing. And between each one of these shamrocks that I was putting in each one of the petals, I was actually curing it for 10 minutes. I mean, 10 seconds. 10 seconds, guys, not 10 minutes, 10 seconds. So that I can continue drawing without messing up anything. And in this case, I draw a 4-leaf clover instead of a 3-leaf clover. And that's the stem of the guys, it was a hot mess, I promise. So I am going to put some, what do you call it? I'm going to make a 3D shamrock. Alrighty then, guys. And here it is. I am going in with some clear. And if you notice, my right hand isn't done yet, but shortly after this, it's going to come back and it's miraculously done. That's because I did it off camera. And at this point, I'm 1 hour 29 in. So if I had done that right hand on camera, we would have been here till next week. Isn't she lovely? Yeah. So after this, I'm heading downstairs to go put my 3Ds on. Stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned, guys, to see what it looks like when I'm finished for real though. I tried. right hand ain't done yet, guys. So here we go in with the Entourage Nail Gallery cuticle, and I'm going to show you how I hydrate my nails after I'm done. So I put a little bit of cuticle oil in the cuticle area. We're going to massage that in a little bit. And right here, guys, miraculously, the right hand is done. Look at that. The magic of the camera. So I'm massaging that into the cuticle and the skin around the cuticle area. I'm giving it a good massage. Then I used a little bit of, I believe that was Victoria's Secret lotion. And I'm really hydrating. Your guests will appreciate this part of the service. I should have taken the rings off, but I didn't. But really, my hands was thanking me for being dry for the last 2.5 hours while I was actually making the video. Put a little bit more cuticle oil there. Guys, don't be stingy with this. If you have to charge the guests for it, that's what you do. But you really want to hydrate. And my hands look absolutely beautiful after I did that. And the oil, the lotion helps the cuticle oil to be absorbed into the nail and the skin. So I love to use lotion and cuticle oil together. Otherwise, the cuticle oil doesn't absorb in the skin itself by itself. It needs a little vehicle to help it be absorbed into the skin. And here it is, guys. So this is the finish without the hearts that I'm about to put on it. So don't go away just yet. I thought they came out absolutely gorgeous. And I'm still working the cuticle oil and the lotion into my skin. Wow. What do you think, guys? I had no concept of what it is I wanted to do. But when you see what it is I'm trying to do, it will go well. And here is my photo shoot. And this is me in the shop as a leprechaun delivering products. That's me. And this is the final look. Thank you for watching.